Hello everyone, just continue. So in this lecture, we are going to talk about remaining part of the Great Revolt of 1857. It is causes of failure of the revolt and nature and consequences. So within a year or so, the revolt was brutally suppressed by the British government, and the revolt was suppressed with extreme form of butchery and inveritable cruelty, and several leaders as well as rebels, including some commoners, they were killed, they were shot dead, and revolt was a failure. Failure in the sense that they failed to achieve whatever they wanted. They wanted to kick the British out of India, but it was not possible for them uh, to expel the Britishers out of India because of military strength. Military strength and our military or the British Indian Army and the British Indian Police. So the colonial government was really a very powerful government, and it was beyond the capacity of the rebels to expel the Britishers, and even more than half of total Indians in the army, they had not revolted, but they had also actively assisted the Britishers to kill the rebels and to suppress the revolt. So finally, revolt was a failure, and there were several reasons for the failure of such a great revolt failed to achieve its objectives. So although the rebels, they enjoyed sympathy of the people of our country, but they were not backed by large number of people. They were not backed by several thousand people. लोग उनसे sympathy जताते थे. So they had sympathy of the people, but not entire country was behind the rebels. Okay, so and also educated middle class intelligentsia. Educated middle class intelligentsia was not in favor of the rebels, and at many places they organized prayers for the success of the British Raj. For the success of the British Raj, they organized prayers, because educated middle class and intelligentsia in our country was actually the product of the British education system. So many educated people and intelligentsia thought that the British Raj in India was a boon, not a bane. It was a blessing. British Raj in India was a blessing. So educated middle class organized prayers at many places, and they prayed for the success of the British Raj. Not only middle class, but traders. Traders were also in favor of continuation of the British Raj, because of their trade and commerce. And the Great Revolt had caused dislocation, dislocation of trade and commerce, and also some rebels were involved in looting or plundering the rich along with the British. So, educated middle class, intelligentsia, and traders had supported the British. And not to forget about the contribution made by many Raja Rajwadas and Jamindars to suppress the revolt. So, except for defaulter Jamindars, hundreds and hundreds of Jamindars were still in favor of the British Raj because they owed their existence to the British Raj. And several Raja Rajwadas, like Rajas of Nabha, Jind, Patiala, Raja of Nepal, and stupid Nizam of Hyderabad, Sindhia of Gwalior, had actively supported the British Raj and provided funds and arms and ammunition. So once the revolt was over and it was suppressed with extreme form of brutality, the Viceroy or the Governor General of the British India named Lord Canning remarked about Sindhia of Gwalior. If Sindhia joins the mutiny or revolt, if Sindhia joins the mutiny, I shall have to pack off tomorrow. If Sindhia joins the mutiny, I shall have to pack off tomorrow. अगर सिंधिया भी रेबल्स के साथ आ गया होता तो अंग्रेजों को कल ही बोरिया बिस्तर समेट लेना पड़ता. So this statement made by Lord Canning about Sindhia explains the level of assistance provided by the Raja Rajwadas to the British government of India. While there were other reasons for the failure of the revolt as well, like the central command provided by the Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah II Zafar was weak, and he was a very old man at that time, and initially he had hesitated providing his leadership, and he was almost compelled by the rebels to provide the leadership. And it means the rebels, they lacked a proper and centralized command, even though even though orders were issued, ishtihar or orders were issued in the name of Bahadur Shah II Zafar, but he was not the actual commander or real commander of the rebels. He was in name only, and the rebels had accepted his leadership, compelled to accept the leadership because they wanted to provide legitimacy to their cause. And they also lacked a proper organization. The rebels, they lacked proper organization and also lacked effective leadership, except for Rani Lakshmi Bai and Maulvi Ahmadullah. Other leaders were not proved very effective, except for Rani Lakshmi Bai and Maulvi Ahmadullah. other leaders were not proved very effective. And the rebels, when they raised the banner of revolt, they had musket, old guns, musket, brown mess, and swords and spears. While on the other hand, the British India Army was equipped with modern arsenals, weapons like Enfield rifles, newly introduced Enfield rifles by Henry Harding, Lord Henry Harding, and Enfield rifles were equipped with magazines containing 6 or 7 bullets, and it was much easier to take shots instead of brown bess or old muskets. So the rebels fought with primitive tools, while on the other hand, the Britishers they fought with modern and very good weapons, and they also enjoyed the facility of swift communication, quick communication in the form of telegraph lines. And the army officials of the British East India Company were very smart, well trained officials, highly disciplined highly disciplined officials like Captain Neil, Nicholson and Hudson. ये सब तेज तर्रार ऑफिसर्स थे, मेजर जनरल, कर्नल, है ना, ये सब बहुत तेज तर्रार ऑफिसर्स थे और उन्होंने पूरी ताकत झोंक दी सप्रेस करने में. सो रिवोल्ट वाज अ फेलियर. Failure in this sense means to achieve its objectives. The revolt was a failure. So, okay. Next reading. Causes of failure of the revolt. Causes of failure of the revolt, right? First point, although the rebels received sympathy of the people, of the country as a whole, but एक सेकंड रुकिएगा ना, सेंटेंस फॉर्मेशन में थोड़ी गड़बड़ी होगी. Although the rebels received sympathy of the people, but although the rebels received sympathy of the people, but the country as one unit, the country as a whole was not behind them. Country as a whole was not behind them. Okay. the merchants, educated middle class, and upper class. Educated, middle class, and upper class. Was not behind them. Was not behind them. Okay. Also, Bengal, Punjab, Bombay, and Madras presidencies failed to ensure participation. So, in fact, this revolt failed to achieve an all India character. So, the revolt was confined to particular places, mainly in Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. Mainly Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. So, and prominent centers or major centers of the revolt were Delhi, Meerut, major centers Delhi, Meerut, Kanpur, Lucknow, Banaras, Allahabad, and Ara and Jagdishpur. So these were the major centers. So not entire nation was in a state of agitation. Not entire nation was in a state of agitation. Like Madras presidency in South India, Bombay presidency, which means Maharashtra and Gujarat, and Rajasthan and other parts of our country had failed to ensure participation. So those regions remained calm and had not participated in this great revolt. So revolt was confined to particular areas, particular places, and failed to achieve an all India character. Okay. Point number two. Almost half of Indian soldiers not only did not revolt but fought against their own countrymen. So almost half of Indian soldiers not only did not revolt but also fought against their own countrymen. So they had not hesitated killing their fellow countrymen. And this thing happened there because of absence of nationalism, absence of nationalistic ideas. As I said to you earlier, idea of nationalism was not there present among the people, and even if it was there, it was in its nascent stage or embryonic stage. Third one, lack of centralized command. Lack of centralized command and effective leadership. Lack of centralized command and effective leadership. Okay. Was another reason of failure. And except for Rani Jhansi and Maulvi Ahmadullah, other leaders failed to provide effective leadership. Other leaders failed to provide effective leadership. They also lacked coordination and effective organization. So they also lacked proper coordination and effective organization. So the leaders failed to coordinate with each other. The leaders failed to coordinate with each others. फेल कर गए कोऑर्डिनेट आपस में कोऑर्डिनेट नहीं कर रहे लाइक नाना साहिब was stationed at Kanpur. Begum Hajrat Mahal and her son Birjis Kadir at Awadh, Lucknow. Rani Lakshmibai at Jhansi and Maulvi Ahmadullah at Faizabad, and these places are not very far from each other, but still they fail to coordinate with each other. They fail to form a common front against the British. एक साथ नहीं आए, कोऑर्डिनेट नहीं कर पाए. ठीक है. अब ब्रिटिशर्स बोलते हैं कि मौलवी अहमदुल्ला और रानी झांसी के बीच में बातचीत हुई थी, कोऑर्डिनेशन हुआ था, बट वी डोंट हैव evidences or dastawej papers or evidences to prove that Rani Jhansi and Maulvi Sahib, Maulvi Ahmadullah had coordinated with each other to fight, to form a common front against the Britishers. Okay. कितने पॉइंट हो गए? 3 पॉइंट. Set. Fourth one. Except for dispossessed jamindars, except for dispossessed jamindars and rajas, others were completely in favor of the British Raj and they had no sympathy with the rebels. So, except for dispossessed jamindars, defaulter jamindars and dispossessed Raja Rajwadas, others were in favor of the British Raj. So, they provided funds and arms to suppress the rebels. So they provided funds and arms to suppress the rebels. For example, Nizam of Hyderabad, Sindhia of Gwalior, Raja of Nepal, Rajas of Nabha, Jind and Patiala. And once the revolt was over, once the revolt was suppressed, Lord Canning remarked about Scindia. So once the revolt had been completely suppressed by the British government of India, Lord Canning, the Governor General of the British India, had remarked about Scindia. क्या remark दिया? If Scindia joins the mutiny, I shall have to, if Scindia joins the mutiny, I shall have to pack off tomorrow. If Scindia joins the mutiny, I shall have to pack off tomorrow. Fourth one. Fifth one. Technological backwardness of the rebels and technological superiority of the British India soldiers. Technological backwardness of the rebels and technological superiority of the British India soldiers. So देखिए, लड़ाई सिर्फ हिम्मत पे नहीं लड़ी जाती है, जीती जाती है. So merely having courage, though ultimate, merely having courage is not sufficient to win a battle. It requires technological superiority. Okay, na? So technological superiority is always technological advancement, technological superiority in the field of arms and ammunitions, arsenals is always required. Otherwise, you are going to be defeated. You are going to be so easily killed by the enemy. तो ये लोग क्या करते, तलवार भाले से लड़ते, तब तक वो एनफील्ड राइफल से धाए से गोली मार देता, और वो एक जगह से दूसरे जगह जाते तो वो टेलीग्राफ लाइन से इनके पहुंचने के पहले ही इंफॉर्मेशन पहुंच जाती थी टेलीग्राफ लाइन से कि वो रेबल्स आने वाले हैं, जरा देखो वहां पे मोर्चेबंदी करके उन्हें वहीं पे मार गिराओ. तो एक रेबल ने एक दस्तावेज मिला, पेपर मिला, उसमें एक रेबल ने, एक विद्रोही सैनिक ने बताया कि ये तार जो है टेलीग्राफ लाइन, ये तार वाला जो सिस्टम है, ये लड़ने से पहले ही हमारा गला घोंट देता है, क्योंकि सब पता रहता है अंग्रेजों को, हमारा पूरा एक एक मूवमेंट, एक एक हरकत पता रहती है अंग्रेजों को. क्विक मींस ऑफ, इट वाज अ वेरी क्विक मींस ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन, फ्रैक्शन ऑफ सेकंड और इंफॉर्मेशन पहुंच गई. ठीक है ना, वो तार वाले लाइन से, टेलीग्राफ लाइंस. सो technological backwardness of the rebels on one hand and technological superiority of the British on the other hand. Also, the British India army was served well by some good commanders such as Hudson and Nicholson at Delhi. Colin Campbell at Kanpur. British spelling CAWN PUR, Kanpur. और ये कानपुर है, सिंपली कानपुर. British spelling for Awadh was very interesting one. OUDH, Odh. It's actually Awadh. और सबसे इंटरेस्टिंग था, औरंगजेब के बारे में ये लोग बोलते थे. औरंगजेब को अंग्रेज बोलते थे औरंगजेब. ORANZEEB, औरंगजेब। ठीक है, तो अंग्रेजों को इंग्लिश नहीं आती, हम लोग को आती है। ठीक है, सो कोलिन हडसन एंड निकोलसन एट दिल्ली, कोलिन कैम्पबेल एट कानपुर, एंड कैप्टन नील एट अलाहाबाद एंड बेनारस, बनारस को बेनारस बोलते थे अंग्रेज। अभी भी जो बनारस का कचहरी है ना, बनारस के कचहरी का जो ओल्ड बिल्डिंग है, उस पे ऊपर में टावर पे बेनारस ही लिखा हुआ है। बनारस माय होम टाउन। ठीक है, पांचवा हो गया। ठीक है, इतना बहुत है। कॉजेज ऑफ फेलियर ऑफ द रिवोल्ट। ठीक है, तो आप ये सोच सकते हैं इनके बारे में, एंड इट्स जस्ट अ मैटर ऑफ स्पेकुलेशन कि क्या हुआ होता अगर ये लोग जीत गए होते। नहीं, ऐसा आता है कभी कभी मेरे दिल में ख्याल आता है, ठीक है, कि मैं इमली के पेड़ के नीचे आराम कर रहा हूं और अंग्रेज आ गए और मुझे मार दिया। वो नहीं, जुल्फों की छांव वाला नहीं, यहां तो विद्रोह, रेबल्स है ना ये। तो हमें कभी कभी ये दिमाग में ख्याल आ रहा है कि अगर ये जीत गए होते तो क्या हुआ होता। ये सिर्फ सोच रहे हैं हम, जस्ट अ मैटर ऑफ स्पेकुलेशन। So what the course of Indian history would have been had the rebels succeeded in kicking the British out of India. So whether they would have implemented some sort of democratic setup or a federal structure, or they were going to restore and reestablish their old feudal order, of which the king of Delhi, Bahadur Shah II Zafar, was the legitimate ruler, legitimate successor, legitimate ruler. ये बता पाना मुश्किल है, और इसलिए भी मुश्किल है कि अब ना वो लोग हैं और ना ही हमारे पास दस्तावेज, पेपर्स हैं, एविडेंसेस हैं इस बात को लेकर के। तो सिर्फ ये अंदाजा ही हम सोच ही सकते हैं और कुछ ज्यादा नहीं कर सकते इसमें। तो लिखिएगा फ्रॉम नेक्स्ट पैराग्राफ, it is a matter of speculation it is a matter of speculation as to what they as to what the course of history would have been had the rebels succeeded. Whether they would have reestablished or reinforced a feudal order, of which The king of Delhi was the rightful representative. Of which the king of Delhi was the rightful representative. So whether they would have reinforced a feudal order or any kind of democratic and federal structure. Okay. हमें नहीं पता क्या हुआ होता. Okay. ज्यादा पॉसिबिलिटी अगर आप मेरे से पूछे तो यही लगता है कि ओल्ड फ्यूडल ऑर्डर स्टैब्लिश हुआ होता because of absence of democratic sentiments and also absence of anything like republican thoughts or federal structure. So many of them, they were peasants actually. Soldiers, who were the soldiers? Soldiers were peasants in uniform. Soldiers were actually Indian soldiers were peasants in uniform, and they, most of them, they were not aware of any kind of democratic sentiments, republican thoughts, federal structure, and also the idea of nationalism was not there and India as a country was not there. India as one unit or as a country was not there, and it was a mere geographical expression, and it was a house divided against itself. So possibly they were going to implement old feudal order and restoration of the Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah II, Zafar or any other prince from his family. ठीक है, इसकी ज्यादा पॉसिबिलिटी है. कि तो जो भी था, despite their weaknesses, despite their limitations, despite their failure, they ultimately served their motherland. They ultimately served their motherland, and even through their failure, they served their motherland, they served their nation. And during the subsequent ages, when Indians started fighting for independence, this great revolt provided inspiration, and hundreds and thousands of Indians derived inspiration from this great revolt, because this was the first combined effort made by many Indians to kick the Britishers out of India. And in this sense, they were the progressive people. Rebels were, at least in this sense, they were the progressive people, because they wanted to kick an alien government, a government based on exploitation of each and every aspect of the Indians. Okay, so आगे लिखते हैं. Despite their limitations and weaknesses, their effort their effort to emancipate the country from a foreign rule country, from the foreign rule was a patriotic, was the patriotic and a progressive rule, was a patriotic and a progressive, sorry, progressive thinking or progressive step. And even in their failure, they served a grand purpose. A source of inspiration, grand purpose, a source of inspiration for the national liberation movement. For the national liberation movement. So this is all about their causes of failure. But out of all these dimensions about the Great Revolt of 1857, the most important dimension for your examination is its nature or character. We have to analyze the nature और character of the discuss actually इसमें discussion होता है various perspectives देखे जाते हैं discuss like question क्या बनेगा discuss the great revolt of 1800 nature of discuss the nature of great revolt of 1857 so right next heading nature or character of the discuss the nature or character of the Great Revolt of 1857. So, regarding nature or character, we have mainly two divergent views and several other views as well. So, according to a group of a nationalistic group of historians and according to the British historians. So for that reason we have divergent views. तो जो ब्रिटिश हिस्टोरियंस हैं और imperialist historians, those historians who wrote in favor of the British Raj. Imperialist historian and nationalist historians, a group of historians who started analyzing Indian history always from nationalistic perspective. Okay, so imperialist historians and nationalist historians. तो जो अंग्रेज हिस्टोरियन है वो क्या बोलते हैं कि दिस ग्रेट अपराइजिंग of 1857 was an indisciplined act of Indian soldiers, many Indian soldiers of the British India Army. It was a mutiny, indisciplined act of the rebels, Indian soldiers of the British India Army. तो उसको mutiny बोलते हैं लोग, imperialist अंग्रेज historians. So great uprising as a Sepoy mutiny. Great uprising as a Sepoy mutiny. Okay. और दूसरा फर्स्ट वॉर ऑफ इंडियन इंडिपेंडेंस. फर्स्ट वॉर ऑफ इंडियन इंडिपेंडेंस. वॉर ऑफ तो था, फर्स्ट था या नहीं ये हम आगे देखते हैं कि, लेकिन ये दोनों ही बायस्ड व्यूज अबाउट द नेचर और कैरेक्टर ऑफ ग्रेट रिवोल्ट. ये दो ट्रुथ लाइज समवेयर इन बिटवीन. Truth lies somewhere in between. So both the notions seems to be not fully correct, not completely correct. In between. Okay. True. In between का मतलब ही होता है. It was more than. It was more than a Sepoy mutiny. It was more than a Sepoy mutiny. A feudal uprising though there were some nationalistic element in it. Some nationalistic, not fully nationalistic. मैंने आपको बोला either the idea of nationalism was absent, or even if it was present there among the mind and soul of the rebels, it was in its nascent stage or embryonic stage. Okay. तो बहुत सारे views हैं. So we have some other views about the nature or character of this revolt. ठीक है, जैसे now it's capital A. Whether it was a Sepoy mutiny. So whether it was only a Sepoy mutiny, is it correct to say this revolt as a Sepoy mutiny? While many dispossessed Rajas and Jamindars, the commoners, peasants, laborers, workers had also ensured their participation in the Great Revolt. तो सिपाही जो थे उनके साथ सैकड़ों आम लोग भी थे, तो ये सिपाही म्यूटिनी कैसे हो सकता है? So whether it was a सिपाही म्यूटिनी, इसमें लिखिए the British historian Lawrence, दो historian John Lawrence and Seeley, the revolt of 1857. The revolt of 1857 was a wholly unpatriotic and shellfish सिपाही म्यूटिनी. अनपैट्रियोटिक बोल रहे, अनपैट्रियोटिक एंड शेलफिश सिपाही म्यूटिनी. अनपैट्रियोटिक तो हो ही नहीं सकता है. दे फॉट फॉर देयर motherland. They laid their lives for the sake of their motherland. They wanted liberation of their motherland from a foreign rule. So unpatriotic तो किसी भी कीमत पे नहीं हो सकता. Selfish सिपाही mutiny with no native leadership. With no native leadership. Okay. And no popular support. Unpatriotic. Okay. कैसे हो सकता है अनपैट्रियोटिक जब सैकड़ों सिपाही अपनी जान की बाजी लगाए हुए थे? They wanted to get rid of an alien rule. They wanted to kick the British out of India, and they wanted liberation of their motherland. So in this sense, the revolt of 1857 was wholly a patriotic act, completely a patriotic act. And they were not these shellfish sepoys. They had revolted not for the sake of wealth or money. वो तो उनको पेमेंट मिल ही रहा था, सैलरी तो मिलती थी ना, उनका खर्च चल जाता था, तो वो तो थक हार करके रिवोल्ट किया उन्होंने, when they would left with no choice but only to raise the standard of revolt, then only they had revolted. So they were not selfish sepoys, and with no native leadership. There were various leaders, there were many leaders, and two of them proved to be very effective leaders, Rani Jhansi and Maulvi Ahmadullah. But apart from Rani Jhansi and Maulvi Ahmadullah, there were other leaders as well, like Begum Hazrat Mahal and Birjis Kadir at Lucknow, Nana Sahib at Awadh, and Babu Kunwar Singh and Amar Singh at Ara and Jagdishpur, and Delhi, Bahadur Shah II Zafar. ये लोग तो थे ही. So at next paragraph, same point, capital A, next para. इसका critics. This interpretation is Incorrect. In many areas, the Sipai were joined by other elements of society, including jamindars and orthodox sections of the Hindus and Muslims. Hindus and Muslims, peasants, disappointed princes, and many other people. So this was not a Sepoy, not only a Sepoy mutiny. This was a Sepoy mutiny, but not only the Sepoy mutiny. And Sepoys were backed by many people, many civilians. Okay. Capital A. Right. Another view, another perspective, capital B. Whether it was a war of races, whether it was a war of races between the blacks and whites. तो क्या ये काले लोगों यानी कि इंडियंस और गोरे लोगों यानी कि अंग्रेज के बीच में सिविलाइजेशनल वॉर था, रेशियल वॉर था, वॉर बिटवीन टू रेसेस, ब्लैक रेस एंड व्हाइट रेस. Okay, so this view is also not correct actually. This is true that all the whites were on one side, irrespective of their nationality. The British, the Portugal, थोड़े बहुत जो पोर्चुगल बचे थे, गोवा दमन दीव, के दादरा नागर हवेली, और थोड़े बहुत फ्रेंच बचे थे, माहे, चंद्रनगर, कराईकली, सब में. तो ये सब फ्रेंच, पोर्चुगल, ब्रिटिशर सब एक तरफ हो गए. So this is correct that all the whites were on one side, but not all the blacks, not all the Indians. And Indians, they themselves were left divided. And more than half of Indian soldiers of the British India Army, not only they had not revolted, but they had also killed their fellow countrymen. And many Jamindars and Raja Rajwadas supporters, they remained the supporters of the British Raj, like Sindhia of Gwalior, Nizam of Hyderabad, Raja of Nepal, Rajas of Nabha, Jind, Patiala, and several other riyasats. So ब्लैक लोग जब एक तरफ नहीं है तो कहां से ये वॉर ऑफ रेसेस हो गया? ये भी गलत है, लिखिएगा। This view is also not correct. Okay. No doubt all the whites, no doubt all the whites in India, irrespective of their nationality, irrespective of their nationality, were on one side, irrespective of their nationality, were on one side but not all the black. So almost half of Indian soldiers of the British India Army not only had not revolted but also killed their fellow countrymen, but also killed their fellow countrymen. And except for dispossessed Rajas and Jamindars, all of them sided with the British Raj or the British rule. किसका राज? अंग्रेजों का राज। आप एग्जाम्पल ऐड कर सकते हैं इसमें जो मैंने आपको बताया, निजाम ऑफ हैदराबाद, सिंधिया ऑफ ग्वालियर, राजा ऑफ नेपाल, नाभा, जींद, पटियाला। कि ये एक एक ना कैपिटल ए एक क्वेश्चन अपने आप में है, शॉर्ट नोट्स कैपिटल बी अपने आप में एक क्वेश्चन है, इसलिए थोड़ा डिटेल में लिख रहे हैं हम लोग इसे। अनदर डायमेंशन, अदर नेचर देखते हैं क्या था। वेदर whether it was a Hindu-Muslim conspiracy, whether it was a Hindu-Muslim conspiracy to overthrow The British Raj. Whether it was a Hindu-Muslim conspiracy to overthrow the British Raj. So Hindus and Muslims, they fought together side by side against the British this time, against the British. And according to a group of British historians, Hindus and Muslims together, they hatched a conspiracy against the British in India. And they said so about Rani Lakshmi Bai and Maulvi Ahmadullah. So the British historians had stated that Rani Lakshmi Bai of Jhansi and Maulvi Ahmadullah from Faizabad, they entered into a secret negotiation to kick the British out of India, and in this sense this revolt was like a Hindu-Muslim conspiracy. But in the absence of any proper proof or proper document, it's difficult to ascertain whether Rani Lakshmi Bai and Maulvi Ahmadullah had entered into a secret negotiation. So we don't have any proof, any evidence to prove this dimension. हमारे पास इसके सबूत नहीं है. तो इसमें लिखिए John Outram. John Outram described the revolt of 1857 as a result of Hindu-Muslim conspiracy. As a result of Hindu-Muslim conspiracy. Another historian, Malleson, held a view that Maulvi Ahmadullah Nana Sahib and Rani of Jhansi had entered into negotiation before the revolt. Had entered into negotiations before the revolt. लेकिन मैंने आपसे बोला कोई रिलायबल एविडेंस हमारे पास इसको साबित करने का नहीं है. However, there is no reliable evidence to prove that there was a genuine Hindu-Muslim conspiracy. There was a genuine Hindu-Muslim conspiracy. No reliable evidence. Okay, तो ये भी पता नहीं कर पाए हम लोग, ठीक से नहीं कर पाते हैं whether it was Hindu-Muslim conspiracy. C. कैपिटल डी. ठीक है, whether it was the first war of independence. Whether it was the first war of independence. तो ये नेशनलिस्टिक व्यू है. वॉर ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस तक समझ में आता है, ऑब्जेक्शन यहाँ पे हो जाएगा आपको, फर्स्ट वॉर नहीं था, क्योंकि रिवोल्ट ऑफ 1857 के पहले भी रिवोल्ट्स हो चुके थे. सो दिस ग्रेट रिवोल्ट ऑफ 1857 वाज अ थ्रेशोल्ड of many revolts or rebellions that broke out for the past 100 years before this revolt had happened. So, और ठीक इसके पहले संथाल रिवोल्ट हुआ था 1856. So a tribal revolt. So many tribals, civilians, peasants, they had already revolted against the British, and also soldiers from 7th Awadh regiment. ऐसे करके कई जगहों पे रेजिमेंट्स में रिवोल्ट, छोटे छोटे रिवोल्ट्स हो चुके थे. So this was not the first. So neither the first nor the war of इंडिपेंडेंस. वॉर ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस का मतलब ये पैट्रियोटिक एक्ट था, नेशनलिस्टिक एक्ट कम था. मदरलैंड के लिए अचीवमेंट, मदरलैंड के लिए अफेक्शन ज्यादा था, नेशन एज अ होल उस वक्त नहीं था. तो ये पैट्रियोटिक एक्ट था, नेशनलिस्टिक एक्ट ज्यादा नहीं था इसमें. So historians like Vinayak Damodar Savarkar and Ashok Mehta described the revolt of 1857. Historians like V.D. Savarkar and Ashok Mehta described the revolt of 1857 as a planned war of national independence. But actually we don't see any kind of proper planning, organization and centralized command. थोड़ा बहुत हो सकता है, बड़े लेवल पे नहीं था. The sepoys and large number of Indian people participated in the revolt. The sepoys and large number of Indian people participated in the revolt to get freedom from colonial domination. To get freedom from colonial domination. तो ये कुछ हद तक तो ठीक हो सकता है, to some extent, but not completely correct. To ascribe the nature or character of revolt of 1857 as the first war of Indian independence. So to ascribe the nature of revolt of 1857 as the first war of Indian independence may not be entirely or wholly correct. Correct to some extent, but not entirely. Each of the leaders, each of the leaders of the revolt fought for their रीजनल. देखिए ये नेशनलिस्टिक नहीं हो सकता, इसलिए नहीं हो सकता ना बिकॉज ऑलमोस्ट ऑल द लीडर्स ऑफ द रिवोल्ट fought for their personal aspirations or regional aspirations. They wanted to regain their lost privileges they had lost earlier into the hands of the British. And Babu Amar Singh and Kunwar Singh had ensured participation in the revolt because they wanted to regain their lost privileges. Nana Sahib at Kanpur, an adopted son of the last Maratha Peshwa Bajirao II, provided his leadership because his pension was stopped. Begum Hazrat Mahal and son Birjis Kadir had revolted because of annexation of Awadh and dispossession and shifting of Nawab Wajid Ali Shah from Lucknow to Calcutta. Maulvi Ahmadullah had revolted because he was not ready to be ruled by the Christians. He had to do nothing with the nationalism or any other thing. उनको वो religious angle दिखाई दे रहा है. Each of the leaders of the revolt fought for their regional or personal or class interests. Like Jamindars, this possessed Jamindar class. So Jamindars had ensured their participation and provided leadership only when their Jamindaris, when they were deprived of their Jamindaris and their jamindaris were cheated and sold out to any third party or auctioned out. So a class of dispossessed jamindars had participated in the revolt, but they had their own grievances. They lost their jamindaris. So they were not full of nationalistic ideas or sentiments, personal interests. The absence of unity of purpose, absence of unity of purpose and cohesion, bondage, cohesion among the different sections, among the different sections and local character of uprising does not fully qualify the revolt of 1857, the revolt of 1857 as the first war of independence. As the first war of independence. तो ये भी नहीं कि तो वैसे भी आप देखेंगे ना 19th century India, mid of 19th century 1850, mid of 19th century 1850, 19th century India was more a geographical expression, more a house divided in itself and less a nation, and the concept of nationalism was not there, and even if it was there, it was in its nascent or beginning stage, embryonic stage. And Bahadur Shah II Zafar could no more claim to be the Shahenshah-e-Hindustan. On the contrary, he was the Shahenshah of Lal Killa complex, Red Fort complex of Delhi, and he was a mere pensioner of the British East India Company and nothing more than that. Nawab of Awadh, Wajid Ali Shah, could never think of assuming nationalistic character or nationalistic leadership. Rani of Jhansi had negotiated with the Britishers to get Jhansi back to herself. Maulvi Ahmadullah उनका रिलीजियस एंगल है, ठीक है ना? तो यूनिटी, कोहेशन, नेशनलिज्म ये सब बहुत कम था उस जमाने में. आज के हिसाब से मत सोचिए ना, उस जमाने के हिसाब से सोचिएगा. तो पैरा चेंज करके लिखिएगा. 19th century India was a mere geographical expression. How so? Okay, 19th century India was a mere geographical expression. It's like Bahadur Shah II Zafar was not a national ruler. Bahadur Shah II Zafar was not a national ruler or national king. He was almost compelled by the rebel sepoys to assume their leadership. और कल मैंने आपको बताया था कि इसने रेबल्स के बारे में आगरा के लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर एंड्रयू फ्रेजर को इन्फॉर्म कर दिया, बुड़ो ने। वो तो बाद में तैयार हुए ना कि चलिए ठीक है, लीडरशिप देता हूं, अपना नाम देता हूं, आप लोगों को लेजिटिमेसी देता हूं। सो इन द बिगिनिंग व्हेन the rebels reached there before the Red Fort complex, Delhi, Bahadur Shah II Zafar, a pensioner of the British East India Company, had informed about the rebels to the lieutenant governor stationed at Agra named Andrew Fraser. First one. Second one. Nana Sahib raised the banner of revolt. Nana Sahib raised the banner of revolt only when his ambassador, when his representative envoy failed to get him his pension. And this pension was allotted to his father, though not biological father, Bajirao II, the last Maratha Peshwa. Okay. Rani Lakshmibai revolted because of annexation or lapse of Jhansi. तो कई बार क्या होता है ना, हम उस जमाने की चीज को आज के नजरिए से देखते हैं, आज वाले नेशनलिज्म से देखते हैं, तो हम एग्जैजरेट करना शुरू कर देते हैं. सो बट here for this examination, UPSC examination, IAS examination, GS and forestry optional, you are not supposed to be biased. You are not supposed to exaggerate the things that had happened in the past. You have to be neutral, like neutral, a neutral observer. जो है उसको समझिए और लिखिएगा, जबरदस्ती का एग्जैजरेशन मत कर दीजिएगा. So Rani Lakshmibai revolted because of annexation or lapse of Jhansi. And Nawab of Awadh Wajid Ali Shah could never think of assuming national leadership. And lastly, greater part of India and the majority of people remained apathetic and neutral. Okay. So this is all about nature or character of the Great Revolt of 1857 in detail. ठीक है ना, काफी डिटेल में मैंने ये टॉपिक आपको करा दिया. This discussion is sufficient for history optional and sufficient, even more than sufficient for GS paper 1 और IS preliminary examination, ISPCs जो भी आप देना चाहें. ठीक है, इतना डिस्कशन मोर देन सफिशिएंट होता है. और लास्ट में लिखिएगा impact of the revolt. Impact of the revolt. First one. So देखिए, as a result of outbreak of this great revolt of 1857, the rule of the British East India Company came to an end. And that had happened not only because of this great revolt, because when Charter Act was passed by the British Parliament in 1853, and that charter was not for a specific period of time. So Charter Acts were passed from time to time after every 20 years, like Charter Act of 1793, Charter Act of 1813, 1833, 1853. And when Charter Act of 1853 was passed by the British Parliament, this act was not for a specific charter given to the company, or administration of the company was not for a specific period of time. आगे का तय नहीं किया गया कि अगले 20 साल बाद फिर कंपनी को हम आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं. तो ऑलरेडी मन बना चुके थे अंग्रेज कि रूल ऑफ, दे वर ऑलरेडी इन अ मूड टू डिसकंटिन्यू the rule of the British East India Company and to take over the administration of India directly. And outbreak of the Great Revolt of 1857 provided to the Britishers a chance to take over the administration of India, British India, from the hands of the company into the hands of the British government of England and the British Parliament. Okay, तो इसमें लिखिएगा फर्स्ट वन, rule of the British East India Company came to an end. And Indian administration of the company was, or company had handed over to the British Crown, and Queen Empress Queen Victoria was declared also the Queen of India. So the Mughal rule formally came to an end in 1858 when the Act for the Betterment of Government of India was passed, or Government of India Act 1858 caused the complete end of formal end of pack up of the Mughal rule in India. Okay, India, and all the Indians were declared as the subject or praja, subject of the British crown or Queen Empress Queen Victoria. So Queen Victoria was also declared the Queen of India, and Indians were declared to be her subject, praja. और ये सब कुछ हुआ, ये हम लोग पढ़ चुके हैं. Government of India Act 1858. So this caused formal end of the the Mughal rule and beginning of the rule of the British Crown. Okay, दूसरा, they had abandoned their policy of territorial conquest and were in favor of maintaining the existence of Indian princely states. So they had abandoned their policy of territorial conquest and were in favor of maintaining the existence of Indian princely states because they found them very useful to suppress the revolts. तो इन्होंने टेरिटोरियल कॉन्क्वेस्ट का पॉलिसी छोड़ दिया कि राजे रजवाड़ों वाला स्टेट तो बड़ा काम का निकल गया. So Indian princely states and their rajas acted as bulwark against the storm. तूफान 1857 का स्टॉर्म तूफान को इन राजा रजवाड़ों ने धीमा कर दिया था, थाम लिया था, वरना शायद अंग्रेजी राज उखड़ गया होता. बोला था ना कैनिंग ने, इफ सिंधिया जॉइन्स द म्यूटिनी आई शैल हैव टू पैक ऑफ टुमारो. ओके, तीसरा, so mainly Indian soldiers of the British India Army were responsible for the outbreak of Great Revolt of 1857. So the ratio of British and Indian soldiers came to be changed from 1:5, 1 British, 5 Indian soldiers to 2 is to 5. तो 1 अंग्रेज सिपाही और 5 इंडियन सिपाही का रेशियो था पहले। अब रिवोल्ट के बाद 2 अंग्रेज सिपाही 5 इंडियन सिपाही। ओके, इंडियन soldiers were Indian soldiers of the British Indian Army were mainly responsible for mainly responsible for revolt and hence ratio of British and Indian soldiers came to be changed from 1:5 to 2:5. Okay. And fourth one, all the Indian gunmen, तोपची, तोप चलाने वाले, Indian gunmen were expelled out of the British India artillery. हटा दिया गया। ये था the Great Revolt of 1857, and I think this discussion is more than sufficient for your IAS examination and state PCS examination. ठीक है, इतना रहने देते हैं। अब नया टॉपिक नहीं शुरू करता हूँ, आगे देखते हैं लोग नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में। And in our next lecture, we are going to discuss about various dimensions of socio-religious reform movements. Okay, ठीक है, आज के लिए इतना रहने देते हैं, नया टॉपिक नहीं शुरू करते हैं। okay. चलिए, आप लोग अपना ख्याल रखिएगा, पढ़ते रहिएगा अच्छे से। थैंक्स सो मच, थैंक्स लॉट।